Welcome to my podcast, Worlds Collide. I'm the host of the show, Victoria Daute, and I talk with my international guests here in the show about the experiences they made in their new country versus their home country. Hey, so in today's episode, I talked to Amber from the US, and she moved to the UK, or more precisely, she moved to Birmingham in England in 2009 when gay marriage wasn't federally recognized in the US. So it was just easier for her and her partner to move to England. And now, 14 years later, she says she won't move back to the US for several reasons that we will talk about. Find out how the Brits react to Americans, what she misses most in the beginning, and how the beginning in a new country was for her. Okay, so listen in. I think it's a good one. Enjoy. Hi, Amber. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. So, where are you from and where did you move to?
I'm originally from a very small town in Ohio. It's like an hour north of Cincinnati. And now I live in Birmingham, England.
And when did you move to England?
In 2009.
Okay, so you've been there for a long time.
Yeah, 13 years, yeah.
13 years. You already picked up a little bit on the British accent?
I did. Oh, no. That's what my parents said. I don't hear it, but oh well.
I think you adapt, right? So it's not that obvious.
Yeah, okay. Oh well.
And so how do you compare your small hometown to Birmingham?
Well, I've lived lots of different places in America. Like I was in San Diego, California before I moved here, but I guess comparing anywhere in America to here, it took me like 2 years to adjust to being here.
Okay.
Like I kept feeling like I was missing out on things back home, and that was really tough for me.
Because of all your friends who are still at home, or why would you say that?
Well, yeah, like friends, family, even stuff that was like on TV or on the radio. It sounds dumb, I know, but
Well, or you can watch it on the TV there too, right?
well, back in 2009, you know, that wasn't really available, but it is now, so I'm fine. I don't feel like I'm missing out.
That was like prior to Netflix, and
Yeah.
probably now all the American shows are streaming there too.
Yeah, now I can just watch whatever I want, so
Yeah.
I'm all good.
And you said small town?
Yeah, when I was growing up, one time when I couldn't sleep when I was in high school, one night I counted 150 people in my in my town. I went house by house counting. Yeah, you know, I've lived in big cities in America, and I live in a big city here. So where I live now is kind of like considered a suburb.
And what made you move to England?
Well, what happened was I'm gay, and it was before gay marriage was federally recognized. And I met somebody, funnily enough, this shows how long ago it was, on MySpace.
Oh God.
And and we were good friends for over a year before we got together.
Uh-huh.
And she came out to San Diego to see me twice. And
Okay.
then it was like, all right, it was easier for me to move over here because she owned a business.
I see. Yeah. So she wouldn't need to give it up.
Yeah, so that's what happened. And that's how I ended up here. And that marriage lasted about 5 years. And then
Okay.
I just decided to stay here because the quality of life overall is better. I don't think I could live without the NHS anymore.
What is the NHS?
The National Health Service or system. It's our healthcare system here.
I see. Okay, sure. That's understandable. It's not a given that you have good health insurance.
Yeah. But other reasons, I mean, it's the quality of life over here is overall better. I mean, I do complain about it, but
Yeah.
I think I'm better off here, to be honest with you. And my parents think I'm better off here as well.
Okay. Have you visited England before you decided to move there?
That's a funny story, actually. I I did in 2000, so 9 years before I moved here, and I actually said, "The people here are so rude. I'm never ever coming back."
Oh
Now I
god,
live
and
here,
then then 9 years later you move there.
so you never say never because you don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly. You never know what's gonna happen, true. And then you moved to Birmingham because your partner had a business.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we were in Coventry first, and then we were in Solihull.
Uh-huh, okay.
And then I met somebody, my girlfriend that I'm with now, and she lived in
Mhm.
Birmingham. So I eventually moved in with her.
Okay. And how do the Brits usually react to you when they find out that you're from America? Because your accent is really not strong anymore.
Oh, they tell me that it is actually. So,
Probably because I'm used to the American accent,
oh,
that's why I don't hear it, but probably others, people from England, they're used to the English accent, right?
yeah, that's
So
true. I didn't realize how many people here don't like Americans.
that was the reaction from right the start, or
Yeah, I get made fun of a lot.
uh,
Just in any situation.
like what? For example?
You know how Americans don't pronounce their T's, they sound like D's, like if I say water.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get made fun of a lot about that, but then I impersonate their accent and they don't think it's funny.
You're the only one who thinks it's funny. Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like I was outside at a pub one time and some lady asked to borrow my lighter and I gave it to her and she goes, "Are you American?" And I said, "Yeah." And she goes, "Water." And I looked at her and I said, "What the hell? At least I make an effort to throw something in there. You guys leave the teas out altogether." So I went, "What a bottle," at her, and she just looked at me, gave me my lighter back, walked back over to her friend, and said, "Do I sound like that?" And I could hear her saying water over and over again. It was funny. But my friends sitting at the same table say it the same way, so I accidentally offended everybody.
But well, I think it's funny though. So they give a joke, but they can't take one.
Yeah, yeah, that tends to happen quite a bit. Like when Trump was president, I got made fun of a lot for that, or like little
Yeah.
digs. And then I started making fun of Prince Andrew, and they didn't like that at all.
Ooh, yeah, well, that's because they love to talk about the royal family. Is that true, or is this just fiction?
Um, some people do. Some people actually don't like the royal family at all and think it's really
Yeah.
dated. But Prince Andrew did some really bad things.
Yes, he did some bad
Yeah,
things.
so
That's true.
that's the way to shut down that conversation. But during that time during that time when Trump was president, I
Yeah.
was telling a lot of people I was Canadian because I just didn't wanna deal with it.
Oh, you didn't wanna, yeah,
I
understandable.
didn't wanna deal with the
Yes.
comments, and a lot of British people have been to Canada, so I picked Saskatchewan because there's nothing there. So if they asked me I was clever about it, I went that far.
So so and they can't even pronounce it, so it's like, "Alrighty, discussion's
Yeah.
closed."
One lady asked me before, this is when I was working at a pub. I really got it working at a pub. There was one lady asked me what's in Saskatchewan, and I said bears, and she left me alone.
Oh, okay, it's 'cause there's
So
nothing there.
yeah, there's nothing there.
So when you first came to Birmingham, what did you work as, or how did you start? How did you set your foot into the door?
Like work wise,
Yes. Mhm.
um, well, I was living in Coventry, and then I we moved to Knoll, Solihull, which I can't pronounce correctly. It's a tiny village. And so because I was new, I used to work security in America,
Mm-hmm.
and security here is completely different and I think a lot more dangerous. So I had to start finding other things to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I was working at a pub, I was working retail, so things like that. Now I got a good job working for a global company, which I won't say the name because. Sorry, I was just gonna say it was tough starting out in a new country and then trying to do a different kind of job than what my profession usually was. So yeah.
For sure. Everything was new. And were there also like different work ethics in England
Uh,
than in the US?
Um, I think what I've found overall working here is that there's a lot of cliques and bullying,
Oh.
which it seems to me like it's bad behavior that was never corrected when they were younger.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been bullied. I've seen other people be bullied, and it just wastes everyone's time.
For sure.
HR has to get involved, and it just gets stupid. But people do get away with it, you know. At my last job, one of my colleagues bullied both me and our supervisor, and we both had to go to HR together.
The
And
supervisor
yeah, he got a
did.
final warning for that.
Wow.
So
So that is worse than in America, you think?
yeah, I mean, I know there's bullying in America, but people seem to like get away with it more. To
Mm-hmm.
me, I see it happening more. Like I said, not just to me, but to other people.
Yeah.
And I had to go to HR once because my supervisor, this was years ago, kept making fun of my accent.
Oh no,
Like she
what?
kept
Really? Your supervisor? That is not professional.
yeah, she kept repeating, yeah, repeating what I was saying, but in a fake American accent, and going to me. She would see me and go, "Hey, Amber," in a fake American accent, and it's so stupid. Like it
It is.
sounds so stupid, but I would tell her to stop, and she just wouldn't. And then in the HR meeting, she was going, "Why didn't you just tell me?" And I said, "I've been telling you for 9 months. You don't listen."
Okay.
So yeah.
Sounds a little bit frustrating.
Yeah.
And
Nobody bothers me at my current job though, so it's
okay,
cool.
good. So at least that's a nice change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just rambled there for a bit.
Oh, fine. That's. Would you say you totally adapted now after 15 years almost?
Yeah. It's I feel like you know the weird thing about being an immigrant, and I don't know if you feel the same, is that you feel like you don't belong anywhere. Like if when
Yeah.
I've gone back home to visit, I feel like I don't totally belong there.
Yeah.
People always point out here that I'm an immigrant, so I feel like I don't totally belong here either. Um, but I do feel completely adapted. I um I go to cricket matches, I go to pubs. I mean, I
Nice.
I go eat full
Yeah.
English breakfast. I eat
Okay.
beans on toast. I
Hmm.
yes, yeah,
Yeah, I've never tried it, but only because it looks so
it
disgusting.
looks disgusting, but it's amazing and it's like total comfort food. Like I don't think I could live
Uh-huh.
without Heinz beans now. I would be sad if I had to.
I mean, the other beans in a can, they all look disgusting. So, I mean, we eat the other cans, the other beans, so it's probably not much different.
Well,
A
yeah.
Mexican, the refried beans that looks
Oh,
not so.
I love refried beans. I love Mexican food.
Did you always like the English food or?
No, I still don't like a lot of it. There's um a lot of it I think is bland because I'm used to having more seasoning on my food.
Mhm.
Um but yeah, some of the food I like I like roast dinners cuz they remind me of Thanksgiving. They're
Okay, but they do a lot of roast dinners.
yeah, and then some people try to every
Mm-hmm.
Sunday, but I'll go out to a restaurant and get a roast dinner, or my girlfriend makes one sometimes, but not every Sunday. I get tired of that every Sunday.
I mean, that's understandable. Everybody gets tired of the same food over and over.
Yeah. I was just gonna say I love full English breakfast. I think they're way better than any American breakfast you can get anywhere.
I'm not a fan of the typical American breakfast either. I don't like pancakes. I don't have to have eggs for breakfast, and then that already is like almost 90% of all the breakfast there is.
Yeah. I don't like how Americans mix pancakes and like bacon and eggs together sometimes. That doesn't make sense. Yeah.
Right, that's weird.
I know. I never went for that when I lived there.
Is there something you really miss?
um oh, I'm trying to think cuz I get homesick a lot and I think about, I really miss this or oh, you know what? I miss being able to go into a store and they have everything that I need, like Walmart or Target.
Really? You don't have that?
No. If you want, like, say if you wanted to buy clothes that are decent, right?
Oh,
It
I understand
and
now.
but then you wanted like potting soil for your garden
I
or
see. I see. Yeah.
you'd have to go to several places and
Uh-huh.
I just end up ordering a lot of things online. That's the lazy way to do it. Yeah.
Because I know in Germany they have like some compartment stores. So you have it's more like a Macy's, but Macy's doesn't have what you just said, decent clothes for a good price and potting soil. But they would have like
And groceries.
pots and pans and silverware and clothes and makeup or something like that.
We have those.
Hmm.
But I mean talking like buying groceries at the same
Uh-huh.
time,
Yeah.
like everything.
Yeah.
All like you've probably been to a Walmart or a Target, right? Yeah.
Yes, to Target more often for sure.
Target's better.
First I was like, Target must be so shitty. And then when I set foot in a Target, I was very surprised. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. And then I go there all the time.
Target's cool. The way we
Yeah, but I'm not a fan of
I
Walmart.
don't think anybody really is. It's like a convenience thing, really.
Do you have like a lot of American things there?
Not really.
No.
I'm trying to think. We have TGI Fridays.
Really?
Yeah, we
Of
do.
all things.
We have KFC and McDonald's. Yeah, I mean British people complain a lot about everything's being Americanized, but not really if I'm still missing things that they don't have.
Yeah. Yes. Do you do anything typical American though? I mean, I don't
Do
know if
I?
there is. Would you celebrate, for example, Thanksgiving?
I personally don't. I have in the past.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one year I just went out and got a roast dinner for Thanksgiving. So,
Just by yourself, or did you take your friends with you?
oh, it was with my
Like
girlfriend
a.
at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't I guess the only typical American thing I do is like cook Mexican food and bring it to work. I don't watch
Okay.
I don't watch British TV shows either, so if people talk about that, I can't join in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink tea and that seems to offend people. And then because
So you did not adopt fully if you don't do tea.
I've tried it and I don't like it. And
Interesting.
then I decided I noticed that people try to get other people to make tea for them.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought, well, I'm not going to be a part of that. I don't even drink this. So I purposefully do not know how to make tea and never learned because I don't want to make everybody tea. I don't drink it myself. Why do I want to make tea for people.
I see. So, but if you host people, then they would expect from you that you have tea for them.
Yeah, but I offer them a Pepsi Max or a bottle of water, and that's what they get because I don't know how to make tea. Because once you learn how to make tea here, you're stuck
Okay.
making tea for people.
But maybe then you're 100% British.
No, I don't want to cut. You don't know how many cups of tea they drink a day. I'd constantly be running around. My gr- my
Okay.
girlfriend doesn't drink tea. If she did, that would probably be different. But she only drinks it when she's sick, when she's ill.
Uh-huh. What is there that you really like?
I like going to the cricket matches is probably my favorite because I like baseball and it's very similar
Mhm.
and it's so much fun. The atmosphere, everyone's happy, everyone's cheering.
Mhm.
Um, there's good food there and yeah, drinks.
And is it different to a baseball game?
Yeah, it's different. They don't have bases. They just have the two wickets. So they run in a straight
Mhm.
path, you know. And
What I meant was like the atmosphere.
oh, I think they're rowdier at cricket matches than at baseball games,
Okay.
definitely. And they do singing, they do
Oh,
chants,
that's fun.
and
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
That sounds a little bit almost like a soccer match.
Oh, it's better. Soccer matches are really messy. I don't go to those, but I don't like soccer though.
Fair, yes. I have never been to one.
That's one thing that I really like here, and I already mentioned some of the food. I love
Mhm.
the pubs. The pubs are fun. The pubs are a lot of fun. It's the only time really that because British people are pretty closed off. They're not very open to speaking to people that they don't know unless they're at a pub and then they'll talk to anybody. It's really weird.
Is that the alcohol speaking?
I guess so. I don't know. Or they're just happy to be there and I don't know what it is, but
Because the
most
Brits have a reputation of drinking.
yeah, the drinking I don't do a lot of the drinking culture here. Like I don't drink
Mhm.
during the day on the weekends like some people do. Like some people go out and have lunch and have drinks with it, but I don't. I don't feel
Yeah.
right doing that and it doesn't sit well with my stomach either for some reason.
Okay. That's fine. But I think that's an American thing too, at least, when I first came here, I noticed that they do a lot of breakfast or brunch cocktails
Yeah.
and a lot of daytime drinking, because we don't do that in Germany. I think, like, usually you start drinking after dinner.
Yeah, I never did the lunch and the brunch drinks like bottomless mimosas and stuff that they did in
Mhm.
America. I never did that. But also you don't see people getting completely wasted at lunchtime in America, but here they will do.
Okay, so that's the
Yeah,
difference.
here they'll just get completely wasted during lunchtime and then they'll keep drinking through the evening into the night. And I'm just like,
How are they still standing?
I don't know. I don't know. They're definitely not okay sometimes when they do that, but yeah.
And do you have a lot of American friends or do you stick to the crowd?
No, I have one lady that I just started to be friends with who's American, but she lives kind of far away, so it's not easy to get to her.
Mhm.
But I do we met up once and I do want to hang out with her again. She's really nice. But all of my friends are British.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is Birmingham very international or is it very
Oh yeah.
Yeah? Oh, good.
People complain about it here.
Oh,
There's
no.
yeah, there's
Oh.
I don't know if you've seen in the news about
Well, you don't have the most liberal. government.
No, I don't know how that works. The Tories have been in power for like 12 years. It's like, when are they going to change it up? I don't even know how that works.
So wait, do you have elections?
I don't know. I mean, there are elections, but I don't know when there's an election that lets the public in. I don't know how it works. It's really weird, but I don't know. I don't understand it. I've tried to. I don't get it. I'm just like, hope one day the Tories aren't in power. That would be cool. But no, Birmingham is known for having a lot of immigrants
Okay.
from countries that a lot of people don't like, let's just say.
Oh.
So yeah. But then we have a big Indian population here,
Yeah.
and I never had Indian food until I moved here.
Until you moved there. Okay, sorry. Yes.
Yeah, and I love it. I can't have anything too spicy, but I love a good curry just like any British person
For
here.
sure.
So
When I went to school and we started learning English in 5th grade, and in our English school book, I think in 8th grade, there was a recipe for a typical English food, and it was like a curry.
yeah, that sums it up pretty much. Especially in Birmingham. Birmingham is known for its good curries.
Oh.
Yeah. Our local pub that's just up the road from us is what's called a Desi pub. So it serves Indian food, and it's a pub. And you get all kinds of people in there. Like, it's got such a diverse crowd.
What would you say, when did you adapt to the British accent? Because you say you don't have one, but I think you do.
I don't know. See, it's a mystery to me. I'm not even putting it on. Like, I'm just talking normal, so I don't know.
I lived in the south of Germany for a while when I was studying, and the people in the south, they speak different, and I also just started to saying some different words for certain things, and my friends at home, they were like, "This is not how you say things." And I was like, it just happens. You can't control it. I'm not doing it on purpose.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Yeah. And you also do the tone in the end goes up a little bit. That's
oh no.
very British.
At least I don't have a Brummie accent. That the Brummie accent is considered Brummie, meaning Birmingham. Brummie is short for Birmingham. You probably knew that though. But it's considered, some people here consider it the worst accent in England.
Oh,
So
no.
if I pick that up, that's when I would be freaking out. Like, for real, I would not want that.
So are you planning on staying?
Yeah.
Or would you consider moving back?
I'm not moving back to America. I decided, so I'm eventually going to look into getting dual citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the gun culture in America.
Uh-huh.
I'm actually pretty happy about not having to worry about getting shot, because in 2008 there was a shooting at my job that I worked at in San Diego, and 3 of my coworkers got shot, and
Oh my God.
I figured out I have PTSD from it. Like, I can't handle loud bangs or fireworks.
That is probably a normal reaction to it. I would have it too, probably.
I was out. I could have gotten shot. I was outside when it happened as well. So,
Wow.
yeah. So I'm enjoying not having to worry about getting shot.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the healthcare system here. It can be boring here sometimes, I have to admit, and it rains so much. Like, up until yesterday, it rained for 3 months. 3 months. I'm not joking.
Okay.
And there were 2 days where it snowed, so that mixed it up a little bit, but
Okay, but like still something's coming from the sky.
yeah, and some days, yeah, the sun would be out for a little bit, but it would have rained in the morning, and
would you say you get a little bit depressed from it?
You know what's funny? I said on Friday, I said to my boss, I was like, in the 13 years I've lived here, the weather hasn't gotten to me, but I'm starting to get really upset now because I'm
Mm-hmm.
constantly cold and it's constantly raining since January. And I said I'm done with that and I wonder when it's gonna get warm and stop raining.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you compare it to San Diego weather, then that's a
Not
big
even
difference.
comparing, just like not raining for a bit. Well, it started clearing up yesterday and it didn't rain at all today, so something's happening, which is nice. I'm so pale because I never see the sun.
Because I mean, you hear that a lot that people get depressed from the weather.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
got to me this time. So I'm glad that it's started to clear up now.
Mm-hmm, for sure, yes. Have you adjusted to any of the other typically British things?
Yeah, I mean it was hard learning how to drive here, definitely.
Right, because that's on the other side.
Everything's on the other side of the car as well. I don't know if you've experienced that.
I drove in Australia, and when you don't pay attention and you are the only driver on the road, you end up on the wrong side because you're used to it. That's what happened to me.
Oh, I don't see. I'm scared to drive in America if I go back to visit because I'm used to driving on the left-hand side of the road now. But
Yes.
yeah, there's the road signs don't really tell you like what lane you should be in if you enter a roundabout.
Yeah.
It's painted on the road. So if a car is on top of that, you don't know you don't know which lane you're supposed to get in if it's a larger roundabout. Now typically normal roundabout rules would apply, but if it's a larger roundabout, sometimes I just don't know which lane to get in if I'm
Yeah, it's roundabouts. Roundabouts are hard sometimes, I think, for everyone.
there's no need for them.
I mean, it's nice.
You like them?
I think it makes sense if it's not too much traffic, if the intersection isn't too big.
Yeah.
But if it's too crowded, then it's I don't know, I get nervous,
Yeah, people cut you off.
and people honk at you
Yeah.
all the time because nobody's, especially here, people are not used to them. I think like in Europe you have them more often.
Yeah. But I had to take driving lessons for I could only afford one a week. So it
Mhm.
took me a year. And then I failed the provisional test 3 times and
Oh,
then
no.
even though I had been driving since I was 16, right? But I didn't start driving until 5 years after living here because I had to save up for my next visa to stay here, so all my money went towards that.
I wanted to ask you, so you are still on a visa?
I have a UK residency called indefinite leave to remain, so I can come and go as I please, and I'm considered a UK resident, but I can't be out of the country for a certain amount of time. I don't know how many months, but I'm never away for months, so I never worry about it.
You would lose it though, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Mhm.
I think the singer Madonna, I think that's how she lost hers.
Oh, I didn't know she lost it.
It's a random fact.
I know. I thought she would still live in London, honestly.
No, she can't. She went back to America and lost her visa.
Oh, well, I'm not sorry for her.
Yeah, I'm not either. We don't need her here anyway, it's fine.
You have enough crazy people.
Yeah. We've got Ozzy Osbourne is moving back to Birmingham.
He moved back, actually.
Did he move back already?
Yeah, a few months ago, and he looks so bad. He's so
Yeah.
old, but he goes on tour.
He had to cancel his tour because of health issues. But he's from Birmingham.
Yeah, he is from Birmingham, I know, and I think he's
Yeah.
also from Solihull, isn't he?
No, he's from is he? Or is he from Aston? I
Oh, I
can't
don't
remember.
know.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not buddies with him, so
Why not? I'm kidding.
well, What about like other customs? Do you think in British behavior is there like something that is still hard for you to comprehend?
People walk into each other. I don't know why they do this. Like they
Like bumping into each other?
Yeah, like I've had so many times where people I'll be walking like either, outside or in the supermarket or at work. I'll be walking in a straight line and they will just gravitate towards where I'm walking and start walking straight to me. And I've seen other British people do this. They do it to each other and then they do this stupid little dance like, oh, 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 to try to get around each other. So I refuse to do that. So I'll just continue walking and just not look at them at all until they move, or I'll just stop. So they have to go around me.
That's funny. I never heard that.
Yeah, it is weird. I don't get it. In a supermarket, it's so frustrating. I don't know. They do it to each other too. So it's not just me, but I've heard other people say that as well. Other Americans, like in this Facebook group that I'm in, they talk about it sometimes. Like, why do people want to walk into me and into each other's walk in a straight line? It is like zigzag. It's weird. I don't get it.
I never heard that before.
That's probably the thing that gets on my nerves the most.
Well, that's understandable.
Yeah.
How often do you visit?
America,
Yeah, yeah.
I've only been back once.
Oh, really? In 13 years?
Yeah, it's too expensive.
Okay.
And yeah, I'd rather spend the money going somewhere that I haven't been.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go home in 2014. I had 3 family emergencies at once, and I was like, oh God, I'd better go.
Okay. You wouldn't otherwise?
No. But I'm going back home to visit to spend Christmas with my family in 2024.
Okay, next year. Well, that's a long planning ahead.
Not next year, but no, yeah, that is next year, isn't it? Yeah, sorry.
That's like
It's because my girlfriend, that's when she could get off work because she's normally not allowed to take the holidays off because of the nature of her job.
I see.
But it gives us time to save, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. And you would visit for a longer time then?
We're gonna be staying with my mom and dad, so I don't know how long we would be there or not. So we haven't worked out the logistics yet, but yeah.
Are you looking forward to a reverse culture shock?
You know what? Last time I was there, and every time I talk to my family on the phone, it sounds bad, but their accents hurt my ears. Like, I don't like every time they say an R, I'm just like, oh, it's just so thick. It's weird. Cuz I grew up having hearing that, but now it just sounds so different to me after hearing British accents all the time. The American accent, like the really thick, especially Midwestern accent, like where I grew up, is really it's really a lot. Let's just put it that way.
I still don't hear different accents. I mean, I'm here 10 years, but I mean, I know a few words that people say, and okay, I hear the Texan, the Southern accent. I know that one, and the Massachusetts and New York, but everything else sounds the same to me.
That's okay, because most of the British accents here sound the same to me, except the Birmingham accent. But yeah, I can't tell the difference either. So don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I don't have like sleepless nights about it. It's okay.
You're laying in bed going, now what do I think that accent is? Where are they from?
Like, do they have an accent? I also don't hear like the Canadian. I mean, for me, it's all just one.
Yeah, it's understandable. Canadians, I don't think, sound very different.
Yeah, apparently they have that O, but
yeah, I had a Canadian roommate in San Diego, and he didn't sound that different to me. So.
Yeah. Do you have like a funny experience that you want to share? Like that was a total culture shock for you?
Oh, yeah. Let's try my first day in England,
Yes.
and I get to my partner's house, and I go to wash some clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the washing machine's in the kitchen, which I wasn't used to.
Oh, yeah.
And then when the clothes are done, I'm like, "Where's the dryer?" And she's like, "We don't have one." And I was like, "How do you dry your clothes?" "We hang them up outside." I'm like, "It rains. It rains. It rains a lot. Like, what are you guys doing?" You know? So she handed me a bag of clothes pegs and told me to go outside and hang them up.
Yeah.
And it wasn't raining, but it wasn't exactly warm. It was like September
Yeah.
when I got here, and I didn't even know how to hang them up.
Yeah.
And she didn't help me. And I think about that now, like, she's kind of a jerk because she didn't tell me there was no dryers. She knew that we use dryers in America because she's used them before in America. So there I am, like,
Probably for her it's just normal, don't you think? I mean, I'm fine without a dryer, but
well, I'm fine without it. I just didn't expect it. So that was I didn't expect it at all. I'm
fun.
used to it now. I
Do
don't
you have one now?
no.
Mm.
They don't fit in the houses here. Like all the rooms in the houses are small.
Mm-hmm.
So,
In America, the houses are very spacious. They love their space. Do you miss it though? That you have more space?
yeah, that's one thing I miss. Yeah, but the reason
Mm-hmm.
that the rooms are so small is so it stays warm in the winter. But we had a heat wave last year that took everybody out because the houses are small rooms, insulated, no air conditioning, and it was
Yeah.
terrible.
But the houses are made of brick, right? So they stay colder for a longer time.
They're I guess you'd have to experience it. It is not
Yeah.
okay in a heat wave where it's
Yeah.
over 100 degrees Fahrenheit with no air conditioning in here. It feels like you're suffocating. It's
But they
awful.
have that like what? Like one day a year or something. Except last year.
This one lasted a week.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Or my poor cat was just all stretched out. Like, again, we had the curtains closed so the heat couldn't come in. And
I mean, we have air conditioning, but I think we would need way less if the houses were built differently.
yeah, probably. But yeah, the funniest thing was the thing where I was like, where do you hang up your clothes? Or what do you do with your clothes? And we have a
And how long did it take until they were dry if it was raining?
we had to it wasn't raining at that time. So I hung them outside, but it wasn't warm. But I ended up having to bring them in and hang them up anyway because they weren't dry.
Yeah.
So on the clothes horse, they call it. Yeah, it doesn't bother me now. I'm just used to it. I don't miss having a clothes dryer.
I mean, it's convenient, but
It also shrinks your clothes, doesn't it?
yeah, I think so. If you're not careful, I think it does.
Yeah.
But also, it makes them softer.
Yeah, it does.
Because I know when I don't put mine in the dryer, it's like really hard.
Yeah, the towels.
Yeah,
The towels aren't
they stand by themselves, right?
Yeah, they do.
Thank you for sharing your experience. That's fun. That was a fun story.
Yeah, I had a good time. Thanks for having me.
So, what did we learn today? Never say never. And also that cricket matches are a lot of fun to watch. And also, in case you wonder, Ozzy Osbourne is from Aston, which is like a neighborhood in Birmingham. And Madonna, where does she live? Who knows? Maybe in Lisbon, in Portugal? That's what I saw on a quick Google search. But maybe I should ask her And maybe she wants to be on my show. Who knows? Maybe. Later. Maybe. Whatever. So next elections in the UK, or the next general elections in the UK, are in 2025, in case you live there and you need to know. Yeah, and if you want to reach out to me, you can do that via email. It's worldscollide123pod@gmail.com. You can also reach out to me on Instagram. It's one word, Worlds Collide Pod. And yes, if you want to be on the show, please don't hesitate to email me or send me a text. And yeah, in the next episode, I will talk to Mariella, and she will talk about her move from Canada to Argentina. I'm looking forward to this, and see you next time. Bye bye.